Why can't some people respect others not wanting to have kids by choice? Some people feel like if you don't want to do the same things as them, then you're saying there's something wrong with their choice or their decision. They somehow take it personally. Neither of my children, 22 and 26, want children, and I support them full score %. This is their life and their choice. F59. Because people have a preconceived idea of what a good life is supposed to look like, and for a lot of people kids is a part of that. I would cut your parents some slack here because their reaction is really coming from a place of love and concern for you. They are probably thinking that if you don't have kids you will have some kind of unfulfilled life. And if they are good parents, they simply want the best for you. I would suggest for now not worrying about it too much and bring up the topic again at a later point and really have a proper conversation with them. There is a good chance they still won't really understand, but most of the time they will eventually come around when they see that you are doing fine on your own. When I was a teenager I was sure I wanted kids. My friend group thought I'd be the first to have kids. And I agreed. My dad and 4 kids, my mom had 5, so you thought I'd have 3. Well, lo and behold, all those friends have kids now and I don't. I do have a partner, but I have no desire to have kids. I still have strong maternal instincts, but I turn it towards animals. My college friends, i.e. always been the mom of the group. I have snacks in my bag and Band-Aid when someone gets feed up, which always happens. In my early 20s I started changing my mind about having kids, and the feelings have only gotten stronger. Now I'm 30 and I'm sure, but just because I won't have bio children doesn't mean I can't end up with a person who already has kids. I wouldn't mind it. Misery loves company. All of my friends who have had kids are empty shells of the adventurous, passionate people they once were, and now just tend to kids 24/7 with bags under their eyes. Most people are raised with the backwards expectation that having kids is just what you do in life, without actually considering whether or not they want them. Then they have them, and do everything they can to convince themselves they made the right decision. Because what's done is done, and there's no going back now. Then they see people living free, happy lives without kids, and want you to have them so they can feel less jealous about it. That's all it is. I relate to you. 19M, and I already know I don't want kids either. People do have preconceived notions of what life generally looks like, and for a lot of them kids is a part of that. Since almost everyone has one, I would try to ignore them. As for your parents, unfortunately there isn't a lot we can do. Just try to be calm and patient if this topic comes up again. Some people just can't respect others, period. Misery loves company. I think sometimes people want you to suffer too and want others to make the same mistake they did. Some people also just really love having children and feel your rejection of having children is a judgment on them. Just do what you want to do. 49 male here with no kids. Nothing against those who find joy in parenting, but it's just not for me. Since my late 20s I have exclusively dated women who either already had as many as they wanted, or couldn't for medical reasons or from having their tubes tied. Don't ever let anyone make you feel like it's required of you. Plenty of people, myself included, are perfectly happy without them. Having kids is one of the most powerful, life-changing, and impactful decisions someone can make in your life. It will completely transform you and your life, and it will create an entire human being who you will have unlimited access to nurture and mold however you see fit. For some, they feel an innate desire to do this. For others, they are open to it if their partner has strong feelings about it but could also see themselves not having kids either. and others do not want to do this for a variety of reasons. Please do not have children if you don't want to. Doing so would be catastrophic for you, the children, and everyone involved. Others should respect your choice. Additionally, your mind may change over time, especially if you pair with someone who fulfills that mate archetype for you. Capitalism, and I'm not even joking. It's many layers deep though, and the outer layer is this is what our parents were taught people are supposed to do. It's just a specific culture of a specific time that lives on, even though it can't quite apply just the same today. People don't respect others' choices in general, and love to give unsolicited advice, especially when that person is much younger than themselves. I catch myself doing this on any number of topics. I wish more people politely called me out on it so I'd stop looking like an ass. Haha. Self-awareness is skill. Sorry to hear that, op. My extended family tries to convince me using "they can care for you or your heart will feel full." If I don't feel comfortable dating BC, I'm not in a good place, then what makes them think a kid would be less stressful? I think people who use kids as an excuse have some kind of bad view on children, as if they're free workers to abuse in the name of parental love. I grew up with the thinking if I can, then I'll adopt. So that usually shuts most of them up. I'll adopt when I can support them. The only ones left are the mothers who had kids right away. Like it's insurance for them. My relationship with them is twisted. Like I like them, but I wouldn't speak at the funeral. At least my parents are okay with no grandbabies. My mom loves babies, so that surprised me. Your parents were probably looking forward to grandkids to baby. It's nice to be a grandparent. You don't have all of the parenting pressure. You can spoil kids a bit more. They're not primarily your responsibility, but you get to spend a lot of time with them. Not that you should spoil them rotten nonetheless, but you have a bit more leeway depending on the family dynamic. As for others, I often hear the complaint that they see it as selfish. I don't understand this at all, but they seem to see having kids as self-sacrificing and virtuous, and not having kids as hedonistic, pleasure-seeking, self-prioritizing behavior. I'm not sure why do they attach all of those implications there. Probably they just had kids because you're supposed to and don't like to see other people questioning it, as they are reminded that they should have treated it as a serious decision. Not that they wouldn't have had kids, but treating it as obligatory kind of makes you feel less responsible, if it makes sense. If it's free choice, then you brought new life to this world and are responsible for its well-being and development. If it's kind of obligatory, then you're still responsible. But they are not here because of you. They were inevitable. You just sorta try to do good by them because you love them. But there's no weight of everything that happens to them stemming from your initial decision. It's because if it's a grandparent or a parent, then what you're basically saying in their mind is that you're, in combination, going to deny them the ability to be grandparents and discontinue the family line. Some people receive it as the end of your family lineage. It is received as you being the disrespectful one. External people? Bekwa say they can't mind their own business. Your parents? Probably want to have grandkids. Still your choice though. I'm not sure. It's perfectly fine not to want children. However, almost all of my friends didn't want children when they were 20, and all of them have changed their minds. I'm not saying you will, and I'm also not saying you are not serious about not wanting children. I'm just saying you will change a lot between the age of 20 and 35, and this might change too. Because they had kids themselves and don't fully understand the reasons why, besides they were told to do it. Some people have absolutely zero critical thinking skills when it comes to societal expectations. Because so many people do change their minds, and your parents and whoever else are aware of that. They've likely known people who said the same thing and eventually changed their mind. You may never change your mind, but you also might. Desires change as you age. Your parents know that because they've lived it. But no one should be getting angry or frustrated with you for your choice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.